Welcome to Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube channel video. You are here with your channel host, GBHL James.
And GBHL Jamie. We're back after Christmas. And it's been New Year for you as well.
What day is it today?
It's Thursday.
Does anybody else find this, that over the Christmas period?
You forget. I think it's when you're not working it as much, you just forget everything.
Days.
Yeah.
Days disappear. Days, only dates and key days become relevant. So is it Boxing Day?
It's 4 days till New Year's Eve. That's all we know.
So I think it's today.
Today's New Year's Eve. New Year's
but it's
Eve.
Thursday.
It's Thursday, yeah.
So it's Thursday. So it has been New Year. So Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
May 2016 bring you lots of Hobbity goodness. It sure will, because there's a ton of things going on next year.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Lots to be excited about, including the return of Throne of Skulls, maybe a breath of life into the Hobbit strategy battle game and gaming in Middle Earth.
Have you noticed how very recently all the sort of Games Workshop names have started coming back onto the Hobbit group on Facebook?
Games Workshop. Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Troki's popping up, Baton's popping up, Grant's popping back up. Everyone's just like, oh, hello again.
Yeah, hello again. We can make some money out of you. Hey, well, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. We don't not want that to happen. We want this to keep on living a life. So yeah, very exciting. Got Ardacon next year. We've of course got Desolation of Stockport in April. There's tons of new venues which are cracking.
And sadly, the closing of Slayer.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That's
really sad news.
Wow.
It's very, very, very sad news.
It means we do have a sponsor slot open.
Yeah, if anyone wants to send us anything for free, we're more than happy to do that. But 4,500 subscribers, I'm pretty sure that somebody will want to sponsor us. So email isleofwargaming@gmail.com and me and Jamie will think about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll become flooding in, so it might be a hard decision to make. So you want to make sure that your offers are nice and high, everybody. So yeah, hope you all had a good New Year's Eve and are ready to crack on with this year. Our first question is from the one, the only Acthon39.
He says, Happy New Year! Hope you had a good one. Did you guys get up to anything? Well, it's happening tonight, so...
What are you doing?
I'm going around with my parents.
Yes.
And yourself?
Me and Jane are going to have a quiet one. Initially we were like, should we go out? And the reason why we were thinking that is...
go out into town?
Out.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh no.
It's never a good idea.
No.
I know this. We all know this.
18-year-olds do that.
Exactly. Well, we've just got married, and that can sometimes, in the timeline of life, lead on to other things, if you're lucky enough. Which means that there was kind of that way of thinking of, do you go and have your last kind of like...
Last hurrah?
Yeah. But then we both sat down and we were like, we hate going out at New Year's Eve. It's awful.
It's a terrible time. The drinks are overpriced, the clubs are chocker.
Not pay to get in.
Yeah, the clubs are chocker with 18-year-olds who are happy that they can have their first New Year's Eve out, so you're surrounded by young kids.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
And everyone's quite aggressive, you know, just no good for me.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. So we've decided against that. We're going to go to Cockadoodle Moo.
Oh, good there.
Well, just booked it. So we're going to go get something to eat, come back here, chill out, watch a movie, drink some fizz together, I think.
Star Wars. We've not seen each other since you've seen it.
It's amazing!
It's incredible.
I've seen it twice.
You've seen it twice now.
I've seen it twice. I was severely disappointed, of course, that Jane didn't let me go on the opening night.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's good.
Were you a big Star Wars fan?
I really loved the original trilogy.
Okay.
And then the Abominations that were the first three. I don't even remember them. I remember 1. I don't remember 2 and 3. But I remember as a kid, I used to go to the video store on the way home from school with my mum, and get out them on VHS, and when I return them, write my name down for when they come back in to get them back out.
Yeah.
So there would just be this constant cycle. I think because we didn't take one back for so long, I would think about when I was like about 6 years old, we had a £40 fine on one of them because I just wouldn't let my mum take it away. Which, as you can imagine, a lot of like 18 years ago, £40 fines, a lot of money, especially for 2 students.
Yeah.
Raising a kid, and the guy.
Bad Jamie.
Yeah, the guy at the counter let me off.
Yeah.
You can see my parents were students, and I just loved this film, so he was like, "Yeah, it's fine."
I'm same as you. The original trilogy is incredible, and I have to say that with this movie, there are a whole. You don't need to be a Star Wars fan, I think, to enjoy it, and I don't think you need to have seen the originals. But if you have, there are so many nods to A New Hope.
Yeah,
it's untrue.
Oh, the film is essentially A New Hope version 2.
Yeah, and it's great.
It doesn't do anything wrong with it. No. Who's your favourite character in it?
Oh, well, I thought Finn was very good, but I really.
Well, it's the wrong answer because it's BB-8. The droid was incredible.
No, but that really is R2D2 Mark II, cuter, smaller, rounder.
BB-8 is hilarious. Like when he's rolling down the steps. Like,
well, hang on. Before we start actually really talking about the movie, we are about to talk about the movie. So if you've not gone and seen Star Wars, what are you doing?
I think time's gone for spoilers, but we'll put it in the title of the video as well.
Spoilers for the next minute or so. The bit where the lighter comes up and he goes, "Come on, sort me out, BB-8. Go on, tell me tell me where Red Base is," and says where it is, and the little lighter goes.
Saluting over a little plan. Yeah.
How did we get onto Star Wars?
I mentioned it because we haven't seen each other since.
Oh yeah.
And then he said, "You're gonna watch a film when you get back from cooking."
We're not going to watch Star Wars, although I do have Virgin Media now, and on Sky Movies. So I've got Sky Movies.
Can you get The Force Awakens?
No, you can't get The Force Awakens. But there is Sky Star Wars channel, which basically has all of the Star Wars movies on loop.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. Now, even though I've got them on Blu-ray, all of them, it does mean that you kind of find yourself going, I'm going to get my money's worth out of Virgin.
Star Wars on.
Empire Strikes Back is on. I'll watch the end 20 minutes of that. Why not? So it's pretty good. So yeah, what? So
he said. So it was part of the section. He said, "What are you doing tonight?" So we've said what our plans are. As for DOS in April, what do you think of this list? Yes, I'm giving you guys a second chance.
Oh, because he asked us what do we think of his 90 odd goblins. We were like, that's awful, like as in horrendous, and he didn't do very well with it. So
400 points, Goblin King, 12 goblins, Grinner 12, Goblin Scribe, Goblin Shaman, total 28, kill 15 to the break and 21 to 25%.
It's very good.
400 points, it is good, yeah. Goblin King's tough, Grinner's got 3 might, and then Goblin Scribe with the Shaman are bringing on goblins every turn, so yeah.
I think what you'll find, I mean, your list previously was good, but because you're relatively new into the tournament scene, you'll find that some of the little bits of finesse that come with winning scenarios. Yeah, I think that's.
Well, domination, that was just random. Like I don't know how that happened. Like he played it as he should have done, and it still happened my way. Best of luck for me.
But yeah, from a sort of doing well at tournament, I think if you carry on coming with a list like that, you learn how to play with it, you will end up doing quite well at the scenarios.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you very much. Next up we've got Damien, GBHL Damien, as the GBHL podcast. He's put, oh my god, it was Jamie all along. Oh my god, Jamie is Santa. Oh my god.
It's true. I had a very busy Christmas Eve.
Wow, it was pretty incredible. I love that suit. How much was it?
It was £3.
£3, and it didn't look a penny over. I'll answer the next one as well. We've got Andreas the Norwegian Viking. He's put, I can sympathise at least half the way with Bilbo. Wink, wink.
Right.
Is that a reference to something?
Yeah. I don't think it's really fitting for the channel speech. You remember what you had done to Bilbo?
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, he's sat over there. He's not feeling very well, so he threw up before Jamie came. Told him that Jamie was coming.
That's not how it happened at all.
So thanks for that, Andreas. I hope that you had a good New Year and Christmas.
Me too. Thomas Harrison next. So both getting on it. The hosts propping up our questions here.
Yeah, there's not many this week.
He says, nice long episode before Christmas. Well done, guys. And more importantly, he's up to date with all the Speak Friendly questions and can now comment.
Wow.
Thomas Harrison, you've sat through a lot of chatter. He says, so a question...
So glad you didn't replace chatter with any other appropriate word there.
So a question, predict the top 10 finishers in next year's GBHL or Great British Hobbit League, and who would you back to get their first ever GBHL tournament win in 2016? Keep up the cracking work, and as always, thanks for asking how people can pay for SBG magazine. You're always there for us, especially Giblin.
How do you pay for it?
How do you pay? Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
How do I pay?
Worth sending a Facebook message directly, personally.
To Damien.
To Damien.
How do I pay?
Just say, oh, this is this week's The Scouring. Now, we usually get about 400 odd views of this. Now, we get 400 messages on Damien's. Oh, is it naughty to get?
Oh, maybe, but also it's kind of funny.
Funny.
No, because then they might respond on the plan to, don't do this. And so that, message James with this, and you just have your inbox.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, so.
That's not. Don't do
Tom and Damien, you obviously watch this. We're not going to have your inbox flooded with spam, but know that we pulled ourselves back at the key moment.
SBGmagazine@gmail.com.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Top 10 finishers.
I have no idea. I would assume.
Are you going to compete again next year?
I'm going to go to less tournaments, but compete at the ones I go to.
Giblin will be another.
I finished 15th. I was well happy with this year.
I was the same. About 17th or 16th or something.
I was like, I've taken trash to most of these tournaments, bar I think 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I'll take 15th after taking like Dunlending.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I was the same. I think obviously Longbottom was competitive because of Nova.
Yeah.
And I came 4th in that. And Scotland, I took competitive forces and came 6th. But apart from that, I've not. I mean, I won the doubles with Jay, but we weren't going there to be competitive. It wasn't a competitive army.
Yeah, Jay props you up, so.
Yeah, of course. Goes without saying, Jay. So yeah, I did quite well. I think came like 16th, 17th. But I have absolutely zero intention of taking anything competitive next year. Like,
I thought I'd go and compete so that there's not the same crowd around the top. Just change it up because it's like.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? You can find yourself playing the same people all the time at the top tables.
Well, I've enjoyed this year so much because I've played majority new players.
Yeah.
Not new players, but new opponents. So I've had like a nice change, and I think I'll probably compete and try and go back up and compete with the big boys.
Yeah. Well, let's get your shoe-ins in there. So
Ed will be at the top.
Let's get Ed there. Damien.
Yeah.
Regardless, yourself if you compete.
It depends on what. I'll put myself in the top 10.
Yeah, I would do if you would compete.
Jay Clare, if he's competing and not doing like camel armies.
David Reed.
Yeah, David Reed, if he breaks in again. Nolan, if he competes.
Yeah.
If he's coming. James Braun, I'd put up there. James Long.
James Long will be
Billy. And that leaves last place.
You don't think it was going to be anybody new coming into the scene?
Sam Jeffrey, maybe? Or Tom Harrison. No, Tom Harrison take rubbish.
Yeah. They're quite, and they're kind of established, but it's hard to sort of see beyond that, isn't it? It's hard to see.
It's hard to see like a new face come in that you haven't met.
Yeah. And that's absolutely no offence to anybody who hasn't been named there, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure anybody who goes to the tournaments regularly can see why those names, if they bring, not even necessarily competitive armies, but you know,
can get up there.
Can get up there, yeah. Because I mean, Damien's done quite well this year, and I think he's only competed at 1 or 2.
Yeah, he's not really taken his Ferrerkas too much. He's gone taking.
I mean, his force is reasonably competitive. It's a good list. It's not an ungood list.
No. It's not a bad list.
But he did really well. He had Bayonne in an army, didn't he? And did really well with that, I think.
Yeah, that was the 80-point one.
Yeah.
He won.
Yeah, so there you go.
I think he won anyway.
So yeah, I'd expect to see some of those similar, but it would be nice, I have to say, to see some new names breaking into that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that would be good.
I wouldn't say Chris Murphy either.
But I don't think he's competing next year.
Oh, is he not?
No, he's not bringing his goblins next year.
Oh yes, he said he's retired it, hasn't he?
He's retiring it, and he's going to bring like something fluffy. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Crash and burn without his crutch then.
Who'd you back to get their first ever GBHL tournament win in 2016?
Oh, I don't know who's not won. Has Billy Fitzmaurice won an event yet?
Yeah.
Did he win one?
I'm sure he has.
Okay.
Maybe. Did he win a Huddersfield one?
Maybe not.
I don't know. Who's not won? Because I guess you can even
James
say
Long's definitely won one because he won the Throne of Skulls.
Yeah. James Long's won. But yeah, again, similar kind of names. Those ones that are sort of there and there. Has David Reed won one?
No.
David Reed
to get his win.
You're very good at coming second.
Who else is it? Has Jeffers won one?
No.
Well, maybe Jeffrey then.
Sam Jeffrey. Again, it's very, very, very hard because it depends who competes. It really depends who decides to compete, and then there's so many sort of luck factors in there as well, and you know what.
Or outside factors, not so much luck.
yeah, lots of external factors. What points levels the tournaments are at, what scenarios, who you get drawn up against, all those kind of things. So, thank you very much, Thomas Harrison. Next up, we have got Semp the Great. Sam.
He's back.
Well, he's been here every week for a little while, but he keeps thinking that we're not answering his questions, and we have done because we've definitely
saying Sam every single week.
Sam, just in case you got the volume off or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't go to the bathroom now. Don't go. He's put, hey boys, my question for this week is a continuation of the whole choosing an army thing. I'm pretty sure I'm going with Harad. I love their lore and they look absolutely awesome. The models I'm thinking of starting with is the Golden King of Harad. He's pretty good.
I read that as the Goblin King of Farad.
Yeah, so did I actually say the Goblin King?
No, you said the Golden.
Golden King. The Golden King of Harad. Sharin. Sharin's good. Abrakan Guards. They're good. Regular Harad Warriors. Chaffy. But,
Yeah.
right. Watch the Kana. They're good. They're really good. What is your opinion on these models? And if you were to make a sample list, what would you bring? Best wishes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that shenanigans. San, something great. Well, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. Well, all those things are good. It's good.
It's a strong list. With that makeup, you can go. You can do Serpent Sting, so you definitely do that, and probably give all the Watchers the bows.
Yeah.
Abrakan Guard with spears.
How many might has Golden King of Harad got?
A 2. It's 242. 262.
Okay, so you're a little bit lower on the might front. I mean, you don't need it as much, that kind of force, but it might be worth taking someone like Suladan along.
Or Taskmaster.
Yeah, or Taskmaster.
Taskmasters in Harad seem to do so well all the time. It's frustrating because they'll just sit there next to, like, I don't know, like Kamul, Knight of Umbar, and they'll go, right, oh, you've heroic struck, I'll heroic strike for free. So stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Right, Taskmaster's a good call.
So yes, if you go for the Golden King and a Hasharin, you think about another hero as well. You're probably going to get 3-4 warbands.
Yeah, they're quite cheap
for most things. So maybe just think about what other hero you're going to take. But it's a good list. Good list. Max out your bows. All that kind of fluff and fun. Next up we've got Lucas Whitcroft Wright.
He says, hey guys, happy Christmas. Just asking a simple question. What is your favourite colour to paint? Blue. Mine would have to be red. Cheers and happy strategy battle gaming.
It's interesting, you do fall in love with painting particular colours. I think we talked about it before on the channel.
Yeah, currently I'm in love with blues.
You're a blue man, aren't
Blues
you?
at the moment.
You're painting everything blue at the moment.
About seems like that.
Brewers blue?
Brewers are blue. Batman and Co were blue with just one wash.
Nice to see the Batman miniatures come out.
Yeah, they finished. You got me the Joker.
They get you the Joker?
Yeah.
I know you got something that opposed my Batman.
Yeah.
Or complimented him in some way. I got Batman! I primed him the other day. Lovely model.
Good.
You painted like 5 whole teams in that time.
I'm not. I painted one crew and they were put back in the box. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, blues. What have I painted? Brewers, the Batman team, and some of the Arena Rex. Half of them were blue. So I got my blue team, my red team.
Yeah. I like painting reds. I do like painting reds. I like painting skin now.
Yeah, skins
can be quite rewarding on a nice model. I seem to have got a hang of painting flat whites and stuff now. Well, whites can be a bit of a pain to paint.
I'm painting up a Sandman the white at the moment. It was all going so well, and a little bit of brown's going the wrong place. I just feel like throwing the model in the bin. I don't want to start again, but I need to.
You just layer back over, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I think I'm probably going to say red. I find painting a red, or even a green, like a kind of a worn green colour, like a ranger cloak. I like painting those kind of greens and reds, I'm going to say. So thank you very much for that, Lucas Whitcroft White. I hope you had a good Christmas. Next up we have got Al Wood.
It's you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, guys, and happy, prosperous 2016 to you both. Thank you very much, Al, and as ever for all of your support. He's put thanks for the great content, and thank you, Father Christmas, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a guest on Speak Friendly Question. Well, we only have the best guests on Speak Friendly Question. Around April time, Redos, Easter Bunny's on his way. Yep. Just so you guys know, we got Cupid in mid-February. He's coming down, getting involved. That's about as far as my brain capacity stretched in that second.
Who's a Halloween, like Jack Pumpkin? Is it
the Pumpkin King.
Jack Pumpkin, someone?
We'll do that. We'll roll with that.
Put a pumpkin on your head.
Only the best for you guys. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have a great 2016 as well. I'll read the next one as well. We got King Bonazai. He's got an E in there. Hi, since I am now in the loop, here is this week's question. Until Dana, Ironfoot and Ram Riders come out, really looking forward to that, what would be the best heroes to use? For warriors, I plan on using Khazad with spear support and maybe some Iron Guard, as well as Dwarf Archers, both normal and Ranger. So what should I use? I'll definitely use the King's Champion and Fly. Merry Christmas, thanks for the amazing content. Well, thank you very much for your question.
Sounds like you've got an army there, to be honest.
Sounds like you nailed it.
Yeah. there's not much to improve on with that.
Yeah, it sounds like you're mixing up the new and the old by having the spears in there. So, have you got anyone that can lead them there? Maybe think about getting Thorin in there.
Was I Thorin or with those hero choices, depending on the point. Thorin ideally, or Balin's not a terrible shout with those choices either.
No,
Just a better cheap hero.
Definitely not. If you want some more fleshing out of that answer, make sure you come back next week and just give us a little bit more of a structure of what it is that you're going for, what points and the like. So next up we've got Ryan Ratchford. Have you got 2 accounts?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was just literally just thinking, that's Akthon.
This is how he's. Is this you tell you're escaping the double loop? Is this what it is? You're in the double loop anyway. If you've got to answer with 2 YouTube accounts.
He's forcing a double loop on himself.
He certainly is.
He says, "Are you guys planning on doing a league final tournament review? As there hasn't been one in a while. Plus, I'd be very interested to see how your other games went. By the way, James, your tournament will not be popping up anytime soon, and hope you both had a great Christmas."
I don't think we'll be doing a sitting down
chat like this review.
Tournament review. I think we've kind of walked away from that.
We sort of banked. Well, we just binned them off.
They're not outside of. I mean, we're talking about outside of the people that go. They're not the most viewed and interactive with. I mean, we still think it's important to cover tournaments, of course, but just sitting down in front of the camera and doing this kind of thing hasn't been incredibly
well
successful.
Yeah.
Based on the figures as well. That's not based. You might be watching this thing. Oh, but I love those videos. But remember, behind YouTube, there are figures, and it shows you how many people are interacting and liking and watching them, and they're relatively low. GBHL podcast is without a doubt now an international channel that's covering the Hobbit. It's not just about
the UK scene.
So it can be quite exclusive in that sense. But the tournament vlogs, sort of following on from what you did when you went away.
I went to BritCon.
When you went to BritCon.
And did the test run, as it were.
And what I did over in America, and then what Damien his one was very good when he went down to East Grinstead, was it?
Yeah.
East Grinstead. I do actually, and I did one for Stirling. I've done one for Mansfield. The camera died towards the end of the, which I was obviously gutted about, the end of the award ceremony. So what I haven't done is given that video a bit of a conclusion. So I will have to sit down and just sort of go back over it. Yeah, and round off the video. But that is there, and that will be going up on the GBL podcast in the next couple of weeks or so. So look forward to that, pal. So next up we've got Mr. Snobler. It's awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll give that app idea a try when I've got some spare time. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, guys. I hope you've had a great Christmas, and good luck with Smaug, James. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was bricking it. I don't know if you can all tell.
It cost £200.
I didn't say anything.
I was like, wait, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah, £200. That's better.
If you've not seen that, where did I post it?
I don't know what you posted.
GBHL podcast.
I don't think it was not on the phone.
Maybe it was on Hotgates. Go on to it'll been on one or the other, because those are the two that I post pages up anyway, unless it's Biotic Fit stuff. So just check out the GBHL podcast Facebook group if you haven't already. Like the page and have a little look through those. Or if you've not already, check out Hotgates Gaming, which is like my battle report channel. And if you go onto there, have a little scroll down and watch the Christmas video. For those of you that don't know the saga, I bought Smaug a while ago and didn't tell Jane, and it was a big investment. And it's been a bit of a soap opera for these guys at least, which put more pressure on me. I would have been fine not telling her for ages and ages and ages, but you guys put the pressure on and I made it happen, and I left my camera back here, I was at the in-laws, I got her iPad out, she was like, what are you doing? And I started setting it up. I was like, I was going to take a picture for our opening and then put it onto record. And yeah, I was breaking it, but at least it's done now. I was hedging my bets, Christmas morning.
Yeah, you can't be angry at someone on Christmas, but I think someone...
Just after she'd opened her
Did someone
Fitbit.
comment saying, just wait now? Like...
Yeah,
that's a
Dave Egan.
Yeah,
that's it. That'll get remembered.
Yeah,
They'll get used against
for a
me.
later argument.
So he then put, now as promised, a list question. Do you think that the Mirkwood Elves, not Rangers, are any good?
Yeah, they're just Galadrim, aren't they?
Yeah. Pretty competitive.
Would elves be Elven Blades?
Very good heroes as well. I like the look of them, but want to make a competitive list. What are your thoughts? Third bows, third glaives, shields where you can, Get your choppy heroes. Thranduil, Tariel, Legolas.
Yeah.
That's it. Nailed it. Depending on what size you want to go for, of course. He's put also when Special Strikes came out, loads of people converted their models to have different weapons, mainly Reavers with axes. What are the ruling on what models you're allowed to change the weapons to benefit from Special Strikes? Differs, doesn't it?
Sorry?
It differs, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Because in the new books, the weapons are listed.
Oh yeah, sorry. If it's got a tank weapon listed as what it is, then you can't change it. Whereas the Lord of the Rings profiles are ones that you, if you were so inclined, can change the weapons around to get a better weapon. Yeah. Which a couple of people have done. I've done it, and then shelved the Woses, and not done it since. I know Harry has put axe. He's got all the axe hobbits, and then put axes on his archers as well.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From a competitive point of view. I like what they did at Nova, the DCHL. That idea that models can only use what they were originally
modelled with.
What they originally modelled with. I like that. I think that's if you're gonna. It's quite a simple way of.
Yeah, saying like if it's been altered in some way, you can't use it.
Yeah.
Well, you just can't use that special strike.
You can't use that special strike. That's not a patch yet, I think, for fixing it. So yeah, things like Mirkwood Rangers, it says twin daggers or something.
Twin elf daggers.
Twin elf daggers. So obviously you can't put an axe on those, but you can put an axe on a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. So it just depends on what it says in the profile. So thank you very much for that, Mr. Snoblar. Next up we have
He says, another fantastic episode of Speak Friend and Question, episode 103. They get better every week.
Really?
Like before, Speak Friend and Question included a deep and passionate dislike of Sundays. For after the Sunday came the Monday. After the sun came the Mon. I don't get it. But life after Speak Friend and Question has changed my mind about the dreaded Sunday feeling. Now I find myself excited all the way through to this most dismal of days, knowing that we're about to get more cracking GBHL content. This guy's mental.
This guy loves us.
Yeah.
I love it. I love you.
This week's loop sustenance. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
For the loop cares not from where the questions come from, only that they come. Guess the Warhammer Fantasy Battle reference for bonus Freddo.
Oh gosh.
Loop cares not where the questions come from. Nah, I ain't got that one. Thought maybe.
I don't know anything about Warhammer, so I'm stuck.
Oh, it sounds like something dwarvish, but I don't know. A Games Workshop Genie pops out and grants you two options. Option 1, a chance to sit down with the Games Workshop game designer and go over all the bad rules that need a tweak and help provide FAQ updates. Option 2, you get to meet the new specialist SBG staff and have a chat with them about the possible new minis or game ideas potentially influencing them for future releases. Which one do you choose and give the reasons why? Oh, option 2. Option 2 all the way. All about new games.
I'd be inclined to agree with you.
There's not many rules that need a tweak, so there's no point FAQing anything, and we've got the community FAQ. Whereas if I could directly influence the game that is going to be released and
that's going forwards,
use my knowledge base of SBG as it is, saying, no, you can't give the Ram Riders strength 7. That's stupid. Why are you doing that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Like secure the good new release rather than fix the old ones.
Yeah, I would agree with that because his option 2 is kind of encapsulating things in that would fix all of that in option 1 anyway. If it was a case that his option 2 was saying that any like new game that wasn't SBG that had nothing to do with SBG effectively, you know, like a board game release or something like that, then you'd be kind of like, well, I do like SBG and I would like to still play that game and for that certain things in that to be tweaked and messed about with. But if you're talking about influencing SBG going forwards, then you'll be able to do all of that other stuff anyway.
It says, on the one hand you can shape the future, but on the other ensure that going forwards we'll have to see hundreds of posts on Facebook to determine how many in the ways a model must take to shoot at something on a large base.
That was a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. As always, a humble thanks for all that you do for our beloved SBG hobby.
Has this been a topic on a Plantier yet?
Don't think so, no. We can discuss it anyway.
What are your thoughts? I think it'd never come up.
It's never happened, but it is right. But I think
if you start going into it and going, well, you've got to take it, but there's no way.
No, but it's like,
my post was clearly right.
Well, I made that post about the dragon.
Yeah.
Saying that Okay, so in the way that it's being ruled with this Radagast Slay thing, if you've not been on the Facebook page, go find it, because it is an interesting read, and an interesting sort of... Well, I think it's an interesting discussion, of especially with the Radagast, where do you shoot from and what happens?
Some of you people are crazy. That's what I was just... Like, because it was one of those things that if it hadn't been brought... Like, we've all played it, and... So yeah, if you read it, and you want to try and make it effective and play out that way, and you really read it, but it's completely not intuitive at all if you do it exactly how it's...
Oh yeah.
And so it doesn't even come in, it's never come into question. I played against Radagast Slay, I played against dragons and fell beasts and all kinds of stuff.
2 goblins in the way of this shot, so 1-2.
Yeah.
No, they could hit theoretically everything in the way.
Yeah, and if you're good and a good model is partially obscuring, you don't choose it because your good model is partially obscuring. You can't take the shot. If it's an evil one, then that determines the line that you're effectively taking, because you've got to risk hitting your own model to try and hit it. So that's the lines are created by that order, but you don't go, oh look, there's 12 goblins in front of this. You have to take it in the way for all 12.
Well, that's the thing is that's the way that it says it should be done. That anything that can block the shot can potentially block the shot, so you need in the way for what is in the way of the shot. It's the idea that it's strategy. You've got to like it happens in a fraction of time. Like it's not the archer shooting straight there. It's that the archer's knocked his arrow, taken the shot, and you sort of from that point of release is when you're rolling in the waves from. Because you don't know. Like he might have released it in a weird way, and the arrow's gone off to that goblin over there.
Yeah, I completely understand all of that.
But it just doesn't feel right when you're playing a game that these big, huge monsters are getting a huge in-game benefit.
It's not even just that. I think that it's also counterintuitive to the way that the Hobbit rules have been changed versus the Lord of the Rings rules in terms of speeding up the game in lots of ways.
I don't know. I think quite a lot of rules. It's slowed down the game, if anything.
You think?
Yeah.
Like with shooting and 45 and...
Because now you've got to track who's moved. You've got to there's four new
the special strikes.
There's all the special strikes. I think the game slows down a lot more.
But not doing that. Not doing that. Not okay. I'm going to take the shot. I've hit. There are 12 things. Does it get past him? Is it going to hit him? Is it going to hit him? Is it going to hit him?
That's the same in both rule sets.
It completely.
It's nothing different.
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever met anybody that's played it like that?
No, I haven't. No, but it's something to do with the rule sets. It's to do with the players.
But my point is that my point isn't how it's written at all. We know that how it's written, when you then look at it from when it's put down and then you go back and look at it, you go, this is the way that it's written that you should play it. But clearly it's counterintuitive, because in spite of it being written that way, no one has ever played it like that. Yeah. Or even noticed that playing it any differently is wrong, or that you're turning around and going, well, let's play it this way because we're house ruling it to be like this because it makes more sense. It's just that it's never come up because it's counterintuitive. It doesn't feel right in any kind of way to play it like that. It feels like you do have a line. You get down, you check line of sight, and there is a trajectory of that arrow, not one that you pick, but is determined for you by what is in the way and where it's in the way. So it's okay. And I've always done it. It's the line that is closest, unless of course you've got your own model, which is then determining where the line goes through, because you've got to risk hitting your own model, no matter what. And if you're a good model, you can't risk hitting it. But it seems to be closest point to closest point, and then in the way is the models which is closest to that direct line. Or closest to that line, not even in that line, closest to it. So it was really interesting. Which way did it get?
I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't read. I unfollowed it after the first 30 comments because I was going to bed. And my phone.
Turn off notifications in the corner. Yeah. But it's a huge post. Very, very, very interesting. Maybe if you're involved in that discussion and you think what I've just mentioned or what Jamie's just mentioned is complete trollop, then of course comment in next week's Speak Friend in Question. I'm sure we can talk about it some more.
Comment in this Speak Friend Question.
This Speak Friend in Question, yes, do it in this one. Okay, so next up we have got Michael Bojan. He's put, good job and happy holidays to all the GBHL hosts. Thank you very much, Michael. And my question goes to Jamie. Do you think that the combination of Wood Elves and Wozes will be effective if it decided not to put axes on the Wildman, or are these rather necessary? Keep up the good work.
They helped a lot. Not gonna lie, they helped a lot with the killing power. I still think it'd be good because they still have the +1 to win against orcs, goblins, and urukai, so that you're still getting the benefits there. They're still decent in combat, just as good as Wood Elves, only cheaper. when you got Wood Elf Spear support. The other thing I see an issue with them, and probably why I haven't taken them out, is Rivendell Knights have become so popular, Mirkwood Rangers are popular, and even her Red Armies can all outshoot you. And because your defender's 3, their strength 2, rerolling 1s, or 4s to wound, will outshoot you and kill you before you have a chance. So you need Galadriel's Blinding Light in there. But then at lower points cost you can't take it because you impact your numbers too much and you don't get Legolas. So
there's also a prevalence of monsters, particularly fell beasts, which of course with Hurl's a big...
Hurl's horrible, but like
horrible
the elves can sort of combat it a little bit. It's just...
It's another one of those things in the meta, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to be wary of it. But it's more the Rivendell Knights that I don't like. Monsters I can deal with because I've got Rumil and I've got Legolas to go in Heroic Strike and stop these things happening. But you can't stop shooting.
No.
You will always be shot. You can stop a hurl. You can position to affect a hurl.
Yeah, especially when it's an army which is built for forcing your opponent to come towards you.
Yeah.
Like you say, you come up against 100% bow, Rivendell Knights, wounding you on 4s.
You're wounding them on 6s or their horses on 5s and then the guys on 5s. It's just, it's not a fair fight.
No. So good luck with it though. Let Jamie know how you get on. Next up we've got Saruman the White.
He says, what do you think of this army? Treebeard, 3 Ents and Saruman.
Good Saruman since you're
Saruman, something which he thought would be pretty funny would be to Sorcerer's Blast Ents 3 enemy lines. Don't even know if that's legal. From Lizard Boy. Lizard Boy.
What's that? 330. 6.
It's about 700.
So yeah, what, 700 points?
About that, yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun for you.
Yeah, it's scenario dependent. Like Contest of Champions, you should win.
Yep.
Recon, you will lose.
Yeah. There you go. That's the answer.
There's things like it will be fun for you. How fun would it be for your opponent? Probably not very. It's that sort of annoying all hero list where did you roll a 6? You did. All right. Well, throw me or bash me. Did you roll a 6? All right. Well, I better kill you this time. No, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go again.
Yeah. It's if you have fun with it, that's the most important thing. Did you say that you can't Sorcerer's Blast his own ends?
Yeah. You can't blast your ends. You have to pick an enemy model.
Yeah. So there you go. Next up we've got War again, and he's put, guys, SBG Dilemma. I had intended on attending both Throne of Skulls and Ardacon next year, but then I remembered. My niece gets married in August, so which of these mighty events do I drop from my plans? On one hand, Ardacon, can't get bigger than that, sounds like it's going to be truly amazing, but then so does Throne of Skulls. I've always dreamed about attending an event at GW. Not only is Throne of Skulls the king of all GW events, it's blooming SBG event to boot. Unhappy face. Whatever way you answer, a part of my soul will shrivel up and die. Toss a coin.
Yeah, that's for you to decide. No, there's reasons we want you to come to both.
Yeah, I mean, Throne of Skulls, GW coming back and running that's going to be pretty epic. Yeah. Playing at Warhammer World, doing a sanctioned event is pretty cool.
A sanctioned event?
Is it sanctioned?
Wait,
that's Guild Ball language, isn't it?
Like,
you know what I mean.
What?
You know what I mean.
It's a sanctioned event.
Whereas Ardacon, of course, is going to be the first of its kind. It's going to be an international World Team Championships. There's going to be people from across the world coming to that. It's going to have over 150 people probably. But that might sell out, so your decision might be taken for you. Maybe see that. Can you get a ticket in February? And then if you do manage to get a ticket, then it's in your hands. If you don't, then it's not. See how you get on.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers for that, War. And finally,
we got Crodican. Yeah. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Now to my question. I am planning a 700 point tournament with 1 or 2 miniatures with a cost of over 200 points. So like East Grinstead. How long of a match time would you recommend? 2 hours or 1 hour to 45 be enough, do you think? Best regards, Mikhail from Sweden.
1 hour 45 for that when you've got 200 points.
Sunk into one hero. Oh, I'd still be tempted with 2 hours.
East Grinstead has done. They did 130 the first time they did that, and it wasn't long enough. Wasn't long enough.
If your schedule can fit 2 hours, then 2 hours is nicer.
I did 145 for Redos. and that was fine. Lots of people. No one was.
I'd say if you can fit 2 hours in, longer is always better.
Yeah.
Because it stops games coming down to time.
Yeah.
And having a natural conclusion.
Natural conclusion's always better if you can get that. Yeah, so if you fit in 2 hours, it depends how many games you want to get over the whole weekend, doesn't it? But that sounds pretty good. Pretty good. And that's going to bring us towards the end of this week's episode of Speak Fan Questions. So a relatively short one.
How long is it?
40 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So
Stretched out 15 questions with some Star Wars.
We did. Should talk about it again.
Yeah.
No, we've got New Year's things to go and get on with. So, and you said you need to go for 4, so it's perfect. So guys, we hope that you enjoyed that. Remember, you need to continue supporting this show by getting involved and asking questions below. Making sure, as always, that you comment, like, share and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit hosts by clicking the links below.
Make sure that you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
And as ever guys, happy strategy battle gaming. And make sure to support your Hobbit hobby.